Hi everybody, my name is Antje and today I'm going to talk about literature by Aboriginal Australian authors. So the first work I want to talk about is My Place by Sally Morgan, and My Place is a communal biography where Sally Morgan details the history of her family. And this is not just a straightforward story where you get to meet Sally and then just step back through history, but instead she tells her own story of discovery, because I think in the book she's 9 or 10 when she finds out, I think by accident, that she is Aboriginal, and instead of answering her questions about what it means to be Aboriginal or who her family is, her mother and her grandmother shut down completely. So she goes digging as a child, she continues digging as an adult, and she slowly pieces together what being Aboriginal meant in Australia, what it still means to her, and what a kind of trauma her family, her ancestors had to endure to survive. And what this story really focuses on a lot is the topic of the stolen generations, which lasted until the 1970s, where Aboriginal children, where one of the parents was white, were allowed to be taken from their families and put into foster homes or children's homes to be raised in white society, to be more white and civilized. What I really enjoyed about My Place was Sally Morgan's writing style. At the beginning of her stories, she is a child and she writes her journey of discovery as a child, and you slowly see her mature throughout her story, even though she's writing it looking back. So it really pulls you in. She gives us all these hints and extra pieces of information that she as a child wasn't able to put into context, but that we as a reader are able to put into context. That Dead Man Dance by Kim Scott is also a historical novel, and it tells the story of the Noongar people and their first contact with white settlers. When the white settlers first arrived, the Noongar people helped them acclimate to the surroundings, showed them how to hunt animals, how to fish whales, and they kind of got along. But then when the tables turned and there were no wild animals to hunt anymore, and there were no whales, and the Noongar people needed the livestock from the white people to continue to survive, the white people did not share. They did not give back the friendliness that they encountered when they came. And the story is just told out of a perspective of Bobby, who at the beginning is a young boy, a young Noongar boy, who is friendly with the white settlers, but as he grows up, the conflict kind of also grows, and he is caught between the tables, thinking back or remembering how nice the white people were, and then comparing that to how life is now. And this is sadly a novel I did not really enjoy, which is due to the format. It's a circular story and not linear. It is what Kim Scott intended, so he didn't want to write a linear story because he said that linear storytelling is a very Western thing. So by telling it in a circular way, he's sticking to his people's way of telling it, but it was just something I couldn't really enjoy just because I was confused. And I was reading the book on my Kindle because you can't get it in print in Germany right now, and I just couldn't go back and check what was going on, who was who, so it was a very chaotic experience. The last piece of literature I want to talk about is The Drover's Wife by Leah Purcell. It's a play and a write back to Henry Lawson's short story The Drover's Wife. And Henry Lawson's short story was published in 1892. At the time it was very revolutionary because the main character was a woman. Through his short story there was this idealized picture of women in the outback, that they were strong, nature couldn't harm them, or they were so strong they could deal with nature. It was a very romanticized view, and this story has been written back to quite a few times, but Leah Purcell again takes it a step further. She introduces Aboriginal characters or people to this whitewashed story that Henry Lawson wrote back in his day. She gives them a voice, she gives them a backstory, she makes them part of Australia and an integral part of Australia. And she also takes the main character, the drover's wife, and situates her differently. Instead of saying that nature is the biggest danger for women, she shows that it's actually men. I absolutely loved this play. It was so brutal and real and violent, but not in like a gory way, but in that it seemed so real. It seemed like a real story. It seemed like this really could have happened, and they're so complex interactions taking place between the drover's wife and the Aboriginal man, who is the second main character, and it was just great to see their relationship grow. I really enjoyed reading them, even those books that I kind of didn't enjoy for the reasons I gave before, but all of them were so educational and heartfelt. It was really people telling the story of their own people and how it impacted them, that you can't really just put these books aside and forget all about them. I will link further resources down below, but that's it for now. Thank you for staying until the end. Please like this video and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!